Hey guys, so a few days ago we did a video looking at a new rune page for AD carries that was first over in Korea and how honestly kind of broken it is. If you want to know how to play that as an AD carry, then go and watch that video, it's linked below. But this one is about why it happened and how Riot kind of goofed with this new AD carry meta. It's not really that different from the S8 ADC meta that we had last season, unfortunately, and about the same as that and Zoe on the scale of not fun to play against. The first thing really is the AD carry meta was already changing before any of this happened. This just made it worse and it made it way more obvious. Poke damage was a major issue in bot lane. This started to come up as poke was getting a lot worse. Poke and lethality was nerfed in 7.24b, so AD carry was less about the lane phase again, less about lethality, less about fighting, and more about the mid game fights. You can obviously still fight now, but the big difference here is it's easier to get out of the lane phase and scale. Before, you would lose health constantly to poke, you would die a few times and be massively behind before the game really even started. Jhin, Misfortune, and Ezreal were the main culprits of that, I think, and they were all on the decline anyway, but this page, 1, hard counters poke, so it really kind of screwed them over. 2, it lets mid to late game AD carries get out of lane and scale into the hyper carries they really want to be. The issue with this whole thing though is that it's a very brain dead playstyle. You're not really concentrating, it's very easy to play. You farm up early, you scale better. That's the entire idea of the build. You can trade like a monkey in the lane phase. It really doesn't matter. You have more potions, more healing, and a shield to block damage as well. Finally, you're much harder to kill in team fights, which is the whole point of the build. You can position badly, you can play really badly, and it doesn't matter as much. You're probably going to survive. We are talking about the Overheal+Targons build at the moment, so the double shielding. Overheal, to start with, they've got a direct buff in 7.24, increasing the amount you gain from your own healing by 10%, so basically lifesteal. Fleet Footwork was buffed at the same time, making this massively better than it used to be, and obviously if you put that together with Overheal, more healing means more Overheal shield. We also have a lot of overall synergy with new runes, like in the Domination tree. Taste of Blood, for example, more healing is really good, and even Ravenous Hunter heals you with your static Shiv procs, which everybody builds right now. The other side of this is the Relic Shield start moving into Targons. You actually upgrade it into the Targons. Now, first thing is that people are getting double Relic Shield, double Targons, double the healing, double the sharing, double the fun. It's really cheesy, but it's actually a really good strat. But Bandit was also added this season, a really big thing. Grants 1 gold if you miss a minion, which is kind of nice if you can't CS, and 3 gold if you hit an enemy champion. So extra gold for these scaling hyper carries, which is exactly what we want. It also heals 2% of your missing health plus a flat amount when a charge is used. That missing health was actually added in 7.22 and it heals you for even more now. The biggest thing is the shield from the support quest, which was added last season in 7.9. That shield plus Overheal shield is the core of this build and why it works. It's kind of weird though, because it's not the highest damage setup that we could take. Taking Pressy Attack or Lethal Tempo would be a lot more damage. Taking Alacrity instead of Bloodline would be more damage. Taking Sorcery Secondary. All of those would give more damage and increase your DPS in team fights, but that's not actually what we need anymore. At the moment, an AD carry's priority is more focused on being able to live while doing damage, not the most damage possible. So basically, we get the damage from our items and the defensive side from our runes. You also got to remember that Riot keeps adding more damage to the game, which is why it's different to last season. More damage in keystones, more damage in runes everywhere in season 8 now, which means it's harder to survive. They also have more damage from champion kits. Every time a new champion gets added or reworked, there is a lot of damage in gap closers, which is hard to play against as an AD. Riot also keeps taking away the mix of offense and defense options that we do have. Sterix, for example, is now melee only because we abused it, but it was a really good mix of like, we're still going to do damage, but we're going to survive as well. Frozen Mallet is no longer as good, but finally, tanks are getting tankier, which arguably needed to happen, but the problem is they are harder to kill, which means we need to build more damage items. There is no room really for defense anymore. That's kind of what this all comes down to. AD carries have shifted to late game scaling because of the poke nerfs. This build gives them more gold and lets them get to late game easier, and they are hyper carries. They don't need more damage from runes. They have enough from their kit, and items like Vayne, for example, gets loads of crits and her silver bolts. That should explain why this AD carry meta has changed so much and how Riot managed to bring it all about. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, but for now, I'll leave you with the robots.